Lately, the name Larry Madowo is not only trending in East Africa, but also giving East African dictators sleepless nights. In fact, Uganda's army chief, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has not only described him as non-patriotic, but also signaled he could not be welcome in Uganda. But why? To understand this, we first need to know who Larry Madowo is. Larry Madowo is a Kenyan journalist and CNN international correspondent, known for his work in international news and for his career in Kenyan media. Born in Sayaya, Kenya, he holds a master's degree from Columbia University and is considered one of Africa's highest-paid journalists, with an estimated annual salary at CNN of $150,000 to $250,000. Many probably did not know of him till 29th of October 2025, when Tanzania conducted one of the biggest sham elections that will probably go in the Guinness Book of Records. Lives lost, property destroyed, opposition leaders jailed, and the incumbent president won the election by a whooping 98%. But while Tanzania's oldest party celebrated the briefcase Democratic win in the country's general elections, to Larry Madowo, it was time to expose and reveal to the world the truth of what transpired in the election. He released a 5-minute documentary that completely changed the picture of the victory to absolute ridicule. And this is why Samia Suluhu Hassan and her Ugandan partners in crime are not happy with him. The video revealed a wide area of freshly turned soil, probably mass graves. Correlating testimony shared with CNN that young men were ordered to dig sites for mass burials. The fury from Dar es Salaam was palpable. President Samia Suluhu Hassan's administration had been working overtime to downplay the bloodshed following Tanzania's October 2025 elections. Then, CNN correspondent Larry Madowo released a documentary that made denial impossible. Madowo's investigation presented what the government couldn't explain away: satellite imagery showing freshly disturbed earth near military barracks, geolocated footage tracing armed officers firing on unarmed civilians, and audio evidence linking gunfire to specific police armories. Witnesses described young men ordered to dig sites for mass burials. Among the victims was a pregnant woman killed in the street while trying to support her husband and 2 young children. Her story became one of thousands that the opposition claims ended in violence. They estimate nearly 3,000 deaths, while the government acknowledges only vague casualties. The documentary's clinical precision left little room for ambiguity. This was state violence, documented and undeniable. The global response has been swift and damaging. The United Nations raised concerns about possible crimes against humanity. The African Union declared the election neither free nor fair. Tourism operators in Arusha reported cancellation surges, while investors began quietly moving assets to neighboring countries. Even within the CCM, whispers suggest senior party figures are questioning whether Suluhu Hassan can maintain her grip on power under this level of international scrutiny. If regional bodies do not take a stand and refuse to recognize the election outcome, they become complicit, warned one observer. That woman is not the legitimate president of Tanzania. There should be a new election under international supervision. At 65, Suluhu Hassan faces the collapse of the carefully cultivated reformist image that once earned her global goodwill. The central question has shifted from whether she knew about the violence to whether she ordered it or simply allowed it to happen unchecked. Critics point to a troubling pattern: disappearances, abductions, and imprisonments occurring even before the election. Why do that if you're so beloved, they ask? If you're truly going to win over 90% of the vote, why not let a fair election take place? The Tanzanian government has refused to answer CNN's questions about the documentary's findings. Officials in Dar es Salaam reportedly attempted to block the broadcast before it aired. Their only response, a terse statement saying they are reviewing the report and will respond later. That response never came. When Suluhu Hassan took office in March 2021, after President John Magufuli's unexpected death, the world watched with cautious optimism. As East Africa's first female president, she moved quickly to distinguish herself, lifting media restrictions, welcoming back exiled critics, and signaling Tanzania's return to the international fold. "I can run the country the same way men did," she declared early in her presidency, framing herself as a unifying technocrat ready to heal a fractured nation. But Tanzania's political machinery, refined through 6 decades of single-party rule under the CCM, doesn't tolerate threats to its dominance, even when wrapped in the language of reform. By 2023, the familiar patterns re-emerged. Journalists disappeared. Protests calling for constitutional reforms were violently dispersed. Opposition leader Tundu Lissu was arrested upon returning to the country and charged with treason, while his party was banned from participating in the upcoming elections. The stage was set for October 29, 2025, when the government announced staggering results, an 87% voter turnout and a 98% victory for Suluhu Hassan. For 3 days during the vote count, internet access across Tanzania went dark, making independent verification impossible. When connectivity returned, the streets told a different story, one written in blood. Tanzania had been trying to move past its authoritarian reputation, positioning itself as a stable democracy ready for global engagement. Madowo's 5-minute documentary made clear that the scrutiny had only just begun, and that some stains don't wash away with press releases and diplomatic niceties. For Suluhu Hassan, the woman who once promised that women can never fail, the real test may not be whether she can hold on to power, but whether the world will continue to look the other way while she does. For Uganda, a country with similar patterns of briefcase democracy, and with a much similar election expected soon, should Larry Madowo be given accreditation to report on the Ugandan general elections or not? Let's keep the discussion flowing in the comment section. Thanks for watching.